I am not making a video on Overwatch 2, and more likely than not, I won't even be playing it. From a successful launch, to Blizzard managing their live game in the worst way possible, to Blizzard being outed as a Predator's playground with a fanbase that was always more than ready to harass me and go to bat for their mega corporation's terrible decisions, I was a staunch defender of Overwatch. Overwatch had earned my love, and to this day, I still feel just the tiniest amount of brand loyalty for the game. It was one of the first games that I got as a PC gamer, one of the games I used to frequent with my old friends, the game that got me to 1,000 subscribers on this channel. I was ready to give the devs the benefit of the doubt. But nowadays, they've lost me, and that's because I don't think the devs care anymore. Overwatch had several developers that were basically household names for those tuned into the gaming industry. And slowly but surely, those guys left Blizzard or stepped down from their positions on the Overwatch team, and with them, a general sense of corporate greed was left in their absence, transitioning a lot of the general care that was felt in the game for this world that they've created to just another shooter trying to do what every other shooter is doing right now. And that's fine. I like a lot of these other games. I don't think Overwatch 2 is gonna be bad, but it feels soulless. As late as earlier this year, you can find me being overwhelmingly excited for Overwatch 2 on this channel. I played the betas, I watched the live streams, I was into it, even with those aforementioned losses in the development staff. Regardless of empty promises, pushed back release dates, the inherent moral quandaries of taking away a game that people spent $60 on, piss poor balancing decisions, and every character announcement used to combat a controversy, I gave this game the benefit of the doubt. But like a straw that breaks the camel's back, basically all of my hope and intrigue in this game was lost when I found out how they were monetizing it. A battle pass isn't the worst system, but it feels completely incongruent with the design language of Overwatch. Stuff like challenges that encourage players to use certain characters or play a way that is different to what you would normally do does not complement an esports game, which is what they are pushing this as. I also don't love permanently time-gated cosmetics, regardless of what you or anyone in the comments will tell me. While loot boxes are an inherently worse concept, I prefer a random chance of getting an item I want a couple times a session, perhaps time-gated to once a year, than having cosmetics permanently locked off if I don't decide to play for a couple months. And that's not even mentioning that Blizzard is including characters in their battle pass. Yes, Kiriko is free, tier 55 of the free battle pass track, and getting her early is what you have to pay for. But that doesn't alleviate Blizzard from criticism for how much of a shitty move this is. Locking a character behind several in-game hours or payment in a game that encourages you to switch characters as freely and as much as possible to form the best possible team comps is inherently anti-consumer. And the amount of people I see defending this makes me genuinely sad. Not just for the world at large, but for them and their personal choices. Also, what does this make if I choose to pick up the game in a year or two? Will that character be instantly available, or do I need to drop Overwatch dollars to be able to participate in the meta? Add in that people on new accounts are going to have to unlock the entire roster, not just the new characters, one at a time, and it just makes everything worse. This system gives Blizzard every incentive to release stupid, broken on arrival heroes that shift the entire meta around them, a problem that, in case you forgot, also plagued Overwatch 1. And in a hypothetical worst case scenario, I could very feasibly see Blizzard doing this to only conveniently nerf them after a couple of months, when the rest of the community can finally play them, only rewarding the players who sink too much time into Overwatch or decide to pay up. Maybe in 2023, when PvE launches, the thing that I thought was going to be Overwatch 2's main selling point, I will be interested enough to ride out the story mode with a couple friends. Overwatch has always been about the characters for me and most of the fanbase, so a chance to experience them in a more ideal format is what I've been gunning for since day one. But Overwatch 2 in its current state feels like it was made for little more reason than to line investors' pockets. Bringing more attention to the esports scene to sell tickets, adding more marketable characters, adding more ways for players to directly give them money, and giving each hero a new design that the community will want to cosplay or buy figures of. Everything about this game bleeds corporate greed and just wanting another marketable IP to milk. It's like the Ready Player One of video games, except at least in that movie, they were using other people's properties. Add in the more questionable stuff like Blizzard listening to your microphone and the even more inexcusable needing your phone number and physical address to play their game, and you have something that I just don't want to play. It alienates existing fans by shutting off the game that they fell in love with and replacing it with a fundamentally different experience, and disincentivizes new players by making the most consumer-unfriendly experience in a market where the competition is stiff and not moving. Blizzard has created a video game where the only people looking forward to playing it are those who will financially gain from it. And that is why Overwatch 2 is destined to fail. See ya.